An Air Force veteran who was sexually assaulted by one of her instructors while stationed at Sheppard Air Force Base is now hoping to end the loophole allowing convicted military rapists to be freed.
In 2000, Harmony Allen was based at Sheppard training as a radiology technician when one of her instructors, Master Sergeant Richard Collins, brutally raped her. It wasn't until 2014 that Harmony reported her rapist's identity to military officials. In 2017, a military court found Collins guilty of rape and sentenced him to 16.5 years in prison. But after serving just 2, his conviction was dismissed on appeal. His sentence was overturned because the 5-year statute of limitations on sexual assaults had run out 10 years before the military even brought the charges.
There was hard evidence, there were witnesses, there was the nurse who did the SANE exam who said that out of 15 years she still remembered my case because I was the only case that after she did the rape kit she had to send on to a trauma center for the beating that I took during the rape.
A Florida congressman has now introduced a bill in Harmony's honor to close the statutes of limitations loophole for rape and sexual assaults in the military prior to 2006. The bill is awaiting review by the House Armed Services Committee.
So why was there such a delay in going to trial, which later allowed the successful appeal based on the old statute of limitations? The sexual assault happened at Sheppard in 2000, and according to the opinion of the U.S. Air Force Court of Criminal Appeals, which overturned the instructor's conviction, Allen first told a female instructor her bruises and scratches were the result of a sexual assault. After a forensic exam at the hospital in Wichita Falls, she told special investigators she was assaulted by an unknown male in a store parking lot off base. When surveillance footage showed no such assault, officers say Allen admitted she made the story up because she did not want to ruin a family or face retribution. She still refused to identify her assailant, but said he was not an instructor. The investigation was eventually dropped, and the rape kit was, well, that evidence, it was destroyed. Then Allen made a report in 2011 to an Air Force mental health provider and then to a sexual assault response coordinator, saying she had been assaulted by an instructor, but she again did not identify him. These reports were not referred to investigators. In March of 2014, Allen finally made a full report to the Chief of Military Justice at Sheppard, identifying the assailant, and that led to the reopening of the investigation and a charge of rape against Collins.
A new study from the Pentagon shows reports of sexual assaults across the U.S. military increased by nearly 40% from 2016 to 2018. More than 6% of active duty women say they have experienced a sexual assault in the past year. This is the highest rate since 2006, when the Pentagon first instituted policies to encourage greater reporting. Before that time, an Air Force review team reported a majority of victims at Sheppard Air Force Base did not report assaults from a fear of retaliation. And 2 years after the assault of Harmony Allen, a special investigation was called for people at Sheppard, for 24 women reported being assaulted.
They may not have support systems close by as family or friends, or they may not know the resources that they could connect to get the assistance needed. But with First Step, we help anyone across the board with sexual assault or domestic violence. We don't even ask the question whether or not it's military related.
For a list of resources for all sexual assault victims, go to Texomashomepage.com.